Hello, everyone. This is a practical course tour, brief video just to look at the way that the Blackboard site is set up and what the requirements are for the course, especially the weekly requirements, which you'll have to address immediately. This course is set up by week. And if you look at the main menu on the left side of the Blackboard site, you'll see that. If we click on the week one link, we get what's always there, which is a reading. All the readings have been uploaded to the site. So here are the readings, brief readings from Kant and John Stuart Mill. This is the subject matter of the course, the most important thing. I don't know what else to say except that the readings are our guide. I have chosen them, yes, but I don't have a lot of insight to offer you on the subject of computer ethics. I'm relying on better minds. So the readings are everything in this course. So if you can access the reading and you read it and you get something out of it and you feel like you understand it, then that the course has done its job. So the readings are always up. There's nothing to buy. The readings are there. They're uploaded to the Blackboard site. There will be a weekly video or two, depending on the complexity of the material. And if you click on the video link, you'll be taken to just a video on my YouTube site, which is me discussing the reading, being as helpful as I am able in understanding the reading, putting it in context, explaining why I've chosen it. And that's an important part of the course. It's most of my work, I suppose, as a teacher. So yes, we have the reading, and then there'll be a video commentary by me on the reading, and then there's the weekly discussion board. So once a week, you have to weigh in on the reading. I have put up prompts, starter questions for the discussion board, and what you need to do with the discussion board is post at least twice. Your first post should be a 1 to 2 paragraph or substantive but brief answer to the question asked in the prompt. And then take a look at what other students have posted and thoughtfully reply to at least one other student post. It doesn't have to be of any particular length, but it has to be a thoughtful, substantive reply. That is, instead of just saying I agree with you or disagree with you or a good post or whatever, actually address what the person has said. Again, briefly, but thoughtfully and substantively. The other weekly assignment is the essay reflection. The essay reflections are 250-word essay responses to a question or something in the week's materials. The week one reflection is a little different in that it actually poses you a hypothetical situation in which you're to apply either Kant's categorical imperatives or Mill's greatest happiness principle to get some kind of evaluation of the actions of the fictional character in a scenario. Week two is a little more characteristic of the kind of things. Just an essay reflection on Jonas's essay, just asking you how the Jonas thesis, and you'll certainly know what that is, reflects on the emergence of artificial intelligence. So the discussion board and the essay reflection, those are your regular weekly assignments for the course. If we look at the introductory section where you'll find the syllabus and things like that, but also more directly the requirements, you'll see that in addition to the weekly discussion boards and the weekly essay reflection, there are oral exams for this course. And that means an oral midterm and an oral final exam. I will send you a link. There'll be a sign-up sheet, or there'll be a call. There'll be a sign-up sheet that will list available times during the midterm week, 15-minute sessions. and you'll choose a number of them that you're available for, and then I'll make up some kind of schedule and send it out. But the oral midterm and the oral final exam, I'll send you out a Google Meet link, and you and I will meet for 15 minutes or so. And I'll ask you questions about the material. I don't mean this to be any kind of. It's an exam. I don't think there's any reason to be nervous. I've been doing this for a while, and ironically, I suppose I'm doing it because of AI, because of ChatGPT. I don't think it's really possible right now to especially do an online course uh, legitimately without really meeting with the student, asking them about what they know about the material that we've read for the course. I mean, probably other ways to do it, but I'm really circumventing the Chat GPT option. I periodically use it myself, Chat GPT, just to see how it's doing. And it's doing incredibly well in terms of the power of the thing. And that's one of the reasons that I've focused a computer ethics course entirely on AI. So these discussions are really crucial for your grade. What does preparation mean for the midterm and final? Well, I'll talk more about that when the time comes. But since the midterm is really an early midterm because it's on the material from the first 2 weeks of the course, you should think now that being prepared for these oral exams is simply knowing the material and being able to talk about it. Yes, I will ask you basic questions about the material, but those will be meant to um, just get you talking about the material and in such a way as you show that you grasp the material, that you can talk about it intelligently, and then you can explain the basic ideas to somebody. And that's what you should be thinking about. Can I actually tell somebody what this reading is about, what its basic points are, what its purpose is, perhaps some of the main examples it uses, things like that. So I think if you've read the material thoroughly and you've watched the videos, you'll be in very good shape to do well. So the weekly aside from the weekly requirements of the discussion board and the essay reflection, the oral exams are a big part of it. And aside from that, there's a final essay. And that final essay is simply a 4-page opinion essay that responds to a question about whether the phenomenon of artificial intelligence, which is you know, questionable in so many ways, but whether it will ultimately, in your opinion, be a detriment or a benefit to humanity as a whole, and why. So that is, of course, just an opinion, man, but it's your opinion, and I'm interested in knowing what you think and why. The only requirement, other than this be a good essay, is that it does draw upon some of the material we've read for the course. If it doesn't mention anything that we've read, that would not be a great sign. I think that the things that we will read for the course will be good touchstones, good references for any discussion of a question like this. So those are the requirements for the course. The weekly requirements of the discussion board and the essay reflection, the midterm and final oral exams, and then the 4-page final essay. If you have any questions about the course, about how it is set up, what your obligations are as a student for the course, or anything at all, please feel free to contact me by email or at the cell phone number that I put on the syllabus.